Go me up a switch and get my mind right. If you want my wife, I need the password. None of we never tango.
An all too common complaint among creators within Kenya is that the creative industry is simply not a serious entity to be pursued as a path to a successful and lucrative career. This lack of seriousness has resulted in one of the worst policy frameworks for the arts in the developing world. Concerts are underpaid, grants are not delivered, artistic facilities remain unfinished, and draconian regulations are imposed on the content that can be produced. Radio stations play music from abroad, and theaters show foreign films.
Niliulizia, nikaambiwa mom alishare. Nilikuwa sad, sikuimbiwa. Mom alishare. Sitaki kujudge, juu sijui reason mom alishare.
Do we as Kenyans really appreciate our own? Today I get to sit down with a few Kenyan creators and discuss more.
How you know you better smoke some and get some more? How you know you living right if you don't do wrong? How you know?
Do you feel like your art is appreciated in Kenya?
Appreciated to some extent, but not really. I can say 80% unappreciation. They really want what you have to offer, not really want to help you. So if you have something to offer, yeah, it'll work. But if you really don't have anything, like if you have the potential, nobody's willing to help you reach it. If you have it right now or or now. So appreciation, I wouldn't really say they appreciate our art. They really just want what we can do. Because if you appreciate someone's art, you'd want to help them and reward them as per what it is, But that's not really what we have.
To some degree, not in the desired degree, because it's more inclined to culture. I feel like the audience preference has a huge say in this, because it's unapata most of our audience in Kenya especially, they consume a lot of foreign content. So before umewateka ile wanajua, I need to listen to this guy, you really have to have some kind of content. Plus the genre lines between secular and gospel, you find that the gospel guys have a huge audience compared to the secular people. That refers to the culture point. And it's when you wanna kulia pesa mingi sana ya MCSK ni gospel, because they have that huge reach in the country. You find artists wanajulikana Nairobi sana ama Mombasa, but then ajulikani Isiolo, ajulikani Kakamega, ajulikani hizo ends. So I could say my art being appreciated in Kenya, not entirely the way it should be. It could be better, but Nyashinsky says, unahitaji miaka 8 ndio uweze kupenya. Kama uko na bidii fulani na umejinao venye inafaa kuwa, you'll be at a better position compared to someone who's just there. But to some degree, I could say that my art is not entirely appreciated.
Yes, but there's this room for improvement. I think that is in boosting now, access. Because there's a lot of people who are not able to access the work, so if we can probably work on improving on the distribution, and also make life for artists much more tolerable, then it means there's more people who are going to access that,
I would say that I don't complain, because there exists a good part of the population that is aware and engaged with the art space in Kenya, and those people are incredibly supportive. But I'll say the average Joe, the average person, doesn't really understand or know about the art space and how it is. So I would say it's appreciated only by a selected group of people who are already involved in the industry?
What are the struggles you go through as a creative here in Kenya?
The struggles we go through as creatives, money, of course, like, yeah, that's number one. Locations. They really don't like allow us to do a lot, especially our, what do you call these guys? This one is who roam the streets, who take your dough. What are they?
City council?
Those ones.
Yeah.
These niggas are mean.
Yeah.
They're just like really mean. They really try and earn from every aspect. So you might actually be doing something that's like right, but they just want to earn.
Yeah.
They'll be like, talk up vijana, mfai, and you're just trying to do a simple video. That time you're not even like a big artist. You're still not earning.
Yeah.
You're trying to earn, but they're trying to earn off you. You know. So that's number 2. Number 3 is this, like our rights also as artists. I feel like we have less rights here, like in East Africa, to do more things. As much as, yes, we look at what traditions know, I feel like we need more space to explore more things, you know. Yeah, for me, I can say those are the struggles we have. For me.
Damn, that's a huge one. But we have to like just go on with it, because now you know, because of this entire situation that's happening in the country. But I could say the doors that were open at that particular time, when things were open, aren't there anymore. The night shows, the gigs that were there, let's say even performances, now guys are more skeptical about whom they want to perform for them. I could say that's one of the challenges. Another would be Ezekiel Mutua, man. This guy. He's not bad. Like, when you look at his reasons as to why whatever he's doing, he has a point, but he chokes the creativity of artists in the sense that he insists on this idea of a clean slate of content. And man, you guys are artists, have to be expressive, man. I need to talk all the things, I need to vent whatever that's in my mind, so that now when I relay that to my audience, they'll be like, hey bro, and yeah, you are on some, you vented, you've released all whatever you needed to say. So I feel like his style or his approach to artists in Kenya should change. But if at all atabaki tu hapo, you know, time will just masaa zake tu zindafika. Another challenge would be, I feel like the way MCSK pesa inabaki tu kwa wase fulani huku juu, si kila msee anakula. Yani si wase huku chini tunapata manyunyu. As much as I have registered for that thing, I miss jakuwa nikikulia ile naweza sema vizuri. But that I could relate that to also my marketing. But it is a challenge, because maze ungekuwa unajua usanii kofiti, nikipatana na wase wa MCSK ama tu nikisign up vizuri, I'll have my thing, the things will just move nicely, which leads me to the next thing. How the DJs and the guys in radio stations, how selective they are with whatever they play or air in their studios. Kuna venye lazima uko unajuana nao wase. Ndio unaweza kuwa umepatikana tu kwa mtandao. Like guys are in like, hey, this guy is Sauce, man. Hey, Sosa, we need to have him on. Like that could happen. But ideally, it's like these guys don't entirely do their homework like they should. Ama mean as a jipeleka, like, yo, so you check out this disc, ama this flash. Nimekujata na OTG, I wanna send, I see what you can do. But the guy would be like, okay, sawa, nime receive, but they won't follow up on the content or just be wa receive hata wacheze vitu kaa hizo. It's like they're selective on what they wanna play in their stuff. I mean, it's a business, because if anything, the system is like this to filter out people, but it shouldn't be like that. You shouldn't be hustling for you to just have a slice of the cake. I feel like that those are one of the major challenges that as you happen in that I've experienced as an artist. I could also include general support from people in general. As much as artists have been saying that, yo, support usanii pia inalipa, usanii is a thing, but guys still treat it as a kibarua tu fulani, hustle fulani that doesn't put wouldn't put bread on the table like you would expect it to be. So people would be like, yo, why are you just doing music? You're supposed to have this and this and this and this, a jack of all trades. But when you think about it, man, labda passion ya msee iko tu kwa hiyo, mi sitaki kufanya kitu ingine, nataka kufanya hiyo. But now you feel like the society in general will put you down, try to convince you like, yo, hata kama uko natal sawa, but just do this so that you have this. Like if at all guys would embrace that, probably that chain would create a butterfly effect that would in turn just make people more responsive if everyone would be supporting their own. Because I guarantee you yourself, you have a neighbor who's an artist, probably a relative amekwambia yeye ni msanii. Your friend has a neighbor who's also an artist. Like wase ni wengi wenye wanataka kupenya nice stuff. So if guys would be more responsive and just accept that everyone can just be doing that thing, I feel like we'd be at a better position in terms of sharing content, getting that general appreciation for my work as an artist. All of us in general.
Access to platforms as an artist first, you know, outside of your creative life, like you need someone to showcase that, right? And then there's not enough spaces, and especially paying one, like paying gigs that will keep you sustained enough to, you know, actually be a creative, right? So there is gigs, a few, depending on what, you know, on how long you've been around, depending on how good you are, but it's not enough. It's not enough, you know, as an artist. Like, it's always, sometimes shows might come on a regular. You probably might have like 2 or, you know, 2 in a week. There are times when you can hit like 2 months without a show, right? And that means no one is putting a pause on your bills. All that is still, you know, part of the things you have to do, like what everybody else is doing. So a lot of people don't survive the ride. A lot of people, you know, they prefer going into other things because, you know, there are other jobs that will pay you, will enable you to meet your bills. Art can be a challenge before you actually somewhere where you can say, now I'm making enough to even meet my basic needs. It can be a huge challenge. Yeah, and I think it's the life of the margins, because as artists, being an artist, to start with, you're a marginalized group of people. Like we are, that's who we are. Because why? Because art is not recognized as a profession that is, you know, respectable, mainstream like any other professions. So we always have to fight for our spaces. It's like every gig, every chance you get, it's a chance of self-affirmation. You know, you are farming yourself to other people. You're farming your value. You are farming your position. You're farming your, you know, your artistry. You have to prove to people that every time. If you see, like now, if you become, let's say, for example, a doctor or a lawyer, as long as you have your recognized credentials, no one will need you to confirm that you are, right? But for an artist, it's different. It's like every time you have to prove to people you're actually an artist, and a good one at that.
The struggles would be many, and I'd give you a list. But if I was to be specific, I'd say we struggle a lot. You know, ideally, if you're saying you're an artist and you love what you do, your goal is to, like, this is what I'm doing. So, like, I'm paying rent through my art and everything. But as it exists right now, if you're an artist, you have to do several things. You know, you have to have multiple streams of income. So that's the struggle. It's not gotten to that point yet where you can be purely an artist and, like, you are living in the best places in Nairobi, that kind of situation. Yeah. So you can say there's maybe that struggle. And also, the government does not truly engage with us and give us the value we deserve.
Are you actually being paid what you're worth as a creative?
As a producer right now, I should be having a lot of stuff. But the earnings, yeah, let's just say they're not what's supposed to be. Because let's say like a beat abroad would be sold for like something like 10k. Here you have to sell a beat for like a G, or there's nobody who's going to be, you know, to be around. So yeah, also like mixing and all these things. You see all these things. abroad, even it can come to like 100K for a full song.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna charge anybody 100,000 here. Who's gonna pay me 100,000 here? So yeah, that's an aspect which, like, it hurts. It's yeah. Then also the like units online. We can't really say the amount of like units we have online. MCSK hide such things, so we can't really know exactly like how many albums you like had like last year.
Okay.
You just know you had like an album out, but you don't know exactly how many were out there.
What do you mean?
The units, like, okay, when you release like an album, like a unit is one album that one person goes and exactly. So we really don't know how many albums are out there. Exactly. Yeah. So it's a bit, you can't earn if you don't know how much you're supposed to earn.
Oh, yeah.
So yeah, that's like another issue. So yeah, we really don't like earn as much as we're supposed to earn.
Nah. Not really. I man, there are a lot of struggles that I'm not eating nicely. Because when I look at the contrast between now the foreign artists and self or other people around here, it's like, hey, there are a lot of struggles that are going through. The money is not coming through nicely. From the streams to MCSK and how they've been like wana pesa yani haifiki, ni manyunyu, si tunapata tu vitu ndogo ndogo, see the entire cake like it should be. So I feel like I'm not being given the way it should be. And as much as Uhuru gave us this incentive, and even he merged MCSK with the ICT ministry, you'd assume that now with the whole ICT systems, now data would be more accurate and specific. Like things would be dope, I feel like those guys, they should like hire probably some group or company that does media monitoring, just to monitor content or wasanii wenye wame sign up now, how much or the frequency of the songs being played on the radio, because it's like that data is not as accurate as it should be. Because sometimes hata kuna these vernacular stations, they still be playing jams, but unaangalia the much you've received at the end of the year, man, it's not as it should be. And then when you compare yourself with now these other artists abroad, these guys are eating nicely, niggas in nice whips, na ati alikuwa tu studio 2 hours na akaflex, so umekuwa stu for an entire year and you don't have much, to a point where your relatives think or your own people think that you're wasting time and you're not granted the much that you deserve. So these things just need to be addressed. Because I heard I think, was it yesterday or the day before yesterday, there was something on the news talking about how they want this thing about, it was on the blogs. Could you remind me what they were saying?
Or the MCSK court proceeding?
Yeah, they were saying that the MCSK guys want to be, the court case that they were having, the proceeding is going on because it was paused last year, I think last year. So probably things will change. They should address these issues because mazee usanii lazima itulishe bana, lazima ilipe.
I don't think there's an artist in this country who's getting paid their work. I know it's a very, someone might say it's impossible, but look at the amount of money artists earn in other places, right? And the amount of money even the big artists earn in this country, or even at the influence they have. Like, no artist in this country is getting paid their worth, right? Because I think even artists in your country like Tanzania, next door, even Uganda, earn more from their art than an artist in Kenya.
So if I was to be paid what I'm truly worth, you'd be paying for the quality that you're receiving, all the work that has been put in to get good at this skill and all that. And as it is right now, I wouldn't say I'm really being paid. Sometimes you really live feeling like you did way more than you were paid.
Oh yeah, boy, this shit.
Said my baby is walking the runaway, and she dressing that dress to kill it, yeah. Ain't nobody is built like my baby, yeah. Yeah, my baby is looking amazing, yeah.